Imagine if I told you there was a magical candy that could make your hair grow faster, strengthen your nails, and give you glowing skin. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what WEEM Hair Skin and Nails gummies claims to do. But do they actually work? Let's break it down. At first glance, the ingredients look like your typical multivitamin with one key difference: a massive dose of biotin. But does biotin really help hair growth, or is it just hype? By the way, I review a lot of supplements on this channel, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Biotin is one of the most popular vitamins recommended for hair growth, but the scientific evidence behind it is surprisingly weak. In fact, only one study has specifically tested biotin for hair loss. In this study, people with a type of hair loss called alopecia areata received biotin and vitamin B5 injections. They saw some improvement, but there were major flaws in the study. First, there was no placebo group, so we don't know if the results were from the treatment or just a placebo effect. Second, biotin was combined with vitamin B5, making it impossible to tell which one or both was responsible for the improvement. And finally, the biotin was injected, not taken orally, meaning we can't assume the same results from a gummy. When it comes to nails, the evidence isn't much better. A small study on people with brittle nails found that biotin increased nail thickness and reduced splitting. But once again, there was no placebo group, and the participants all had a specific nail condition called brittle nail syndrome. So while biotin might help people with brittle nail syndrome, there's no proof that it benefits those with normal nails. Beyond these studies, the rest of the evidence for biotin comes from individual case reports, where doctors observed improvements in patients after taking biotin. The problem is that these reports don't have control groups, randomization, or large sample sizes, making the evidence weak at best. So does biotin really help with hair and nail growth? The short answer, probably not. At least not for healthy people. While it may help those with specific conditions like alopecia areata or brittle nail syndrome, these cases are rare. For the average person, there's no solid proof that extra biotin does anything. But what about biotin deficiency? Biotin deficiency is sometimes linked to mild hair loss, but in reality, it's pretty rare, at least for someone eating a normal, balanced diet. That's because biotin is found in plenty of everyday protein-rich foods like dairy, egg yolks, meats, nuts, and seeds. Plus, the body only needs about 30 micrograms per day to stay healthy, which is easily met through diet alone. So for the average healthy adult in North America, true biotin deficiency is extremely unlikely. That said, some people are at higher risk. Rare genetic disorders can lead to biotin deficiency, but these conditions affect fewer than 1 in 100,000 births, so they're exceptionally uncommon. Certain medications like antiepileptics, anticonvulsants, and long-term acne treatments such as isotretinoin and some antibiotics can also interfere with biotin levels. Studies suggest that older adults, alcoholics, and smokers, especially women, may have lower biotin levels as well. And research has found that mild biotin deficiency is fairly common in pregnant and breastfeeding women. So for these higher risk groups, biotin supplements might seem like a good idea. However, even in these cases, research shows no significant difference in biotin levels between those experiencing hair loss and those who aren't. In other words, even if you're slightly low on biotin, supplementing might correct the deficiency, but it's still unlikely to make a noticeable difference in hair loss or growth. It's important to note that true biotin deficiency doesn't just cause hair loss. It comes with much more serious skin and neurological issues. And if you are actually suffering from these issues, some mild hair loss would likely be the least of your worries. The rest of the vitamins and minerals in these gummies do play a role in overall hair health. Well, at least a few of them do. But there's no evidence that taking extra will boost hair growth. Why? Because unless you have a severe deficiency, your body already has what it needs. Taking more won't speed things up. And in some cases, too much of a certain vitamin, like vitamin A, can actually cause hair loss. And just like with biotin deficiency, being deficient in these specific vitamins and minerals is pretty rare. The idea you need to take a daily cocktail of hair growth nutrients to have perfect hair just isn't true. Your body's already great at pulling the nutrients it needs from the food you eat and even storing or producing them when necessary. You don't have to check off every single vitamin and mineral every single day. Your body is surprisingly resilient and knows how to take care of itself more than you might think. So, does WEEM Hair, Skin, and Nails actually work? Well, if you have a significant biotin deficiency or suffer from brittle nail syndrome, you might see a small benefit. But for most people, this supplement is unlikely to do much for hair growth. In reality, it's just another biotin supplement with some extra vitamins thrown in. But there's another issue worth considering: gummy supplements themselves. While they may seem like a fun and tasty way to get your vitamins, they come with several downsides. Compared to regular supplement pills, gummies tend to contain lower doses of active ingredients, have a shorter shelf life, and often suffer from uneven ingredient distribution, meaning you might not be getting a consistent dose with each gummy. Plus, let's be honest, you're basically eating candy every day just to take a supplement. Gummy vitamins have exploded in popularity in recent years, largely because of what some call pill fatigue. People get tired of swallowing multiple pills every day, so they turn to gummies as a more enjoyable alternative. And sure, they taste better, but maybe the real issue isn't that we need more creative ways to take supplements, but that we might be taking too many in the first place. Supplements are meant to supplement a healthy diet, not replace it. If you find yourself relying on handfuls of pills or gummies to fix nutritional gaps or support your health, it might be time to take a step back. Instead of looking for yet another supplement, focusing on a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle could be the real solution. At $35 a month, WEEM Hair, Skin, and Nails is essentially just a multivitamin with extra biotin. If you're looking for the same benefits, you could save money by taking a standard women's multivitamin, most of which already contain nutrients like iodine and B vitamins, and just add biotin yourself. A good multivitamin costs around $10 to $15 a month, and biotin supplements run about $2 to $3 a month. Together, that's only $12 to $18 a month. Rating WEEM Hair, Skin, and Nails by effectiveness for improving hair loss, I'm giving it a D. If you don't have alopecia areata or brittle nail syndrome, it probably won't do much for your hair or nails, even if you're deficient in biotin. Rating by cost, I'm giving it a D. It can be easily replicated at a far cheaper cost. Rating for safety, I'm giving it a B. The ingredients and doses used are unlikely to be of much cause for concern. Overall rating, I'm giving a D. I would not recommend it at all. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Yeung. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know who can use the info.